Hey guys, Dave from Wolfhard Hobbying here, and today we're going to take a look at finishing the Skorza Skirmisher. This guy is almost all done. We just need to do a little bit more detail work on him, and so we're going to start with the claws on his feet and his teeth as well, as they're going to be the same color, as I use the same color for all my bone work. So I come in with my base color of Rakarth Flesh. It's a nice darker beige color. That's why I like using it for all my bone work, as it's very quick to highlight, as well as I don't want to spend too much time on these little details here. So as you can see here, I am leaving a little bit of the dark gray between the toe and the claw, just to give it a little bit more of a bolder separation when it is fielded on the table. You could go straight up to the toe and then do a wash, which would give you a subtle separation between the two, but I wanted to go bold with this guy, so I chose to just leave the dark gray. And we're just going to do the same thing on the other side once this is all completed. So bringing in the camera here, I'm going to do his teeth next with my fine detail brush, or you can use the finest brush you've got, being very careful not to get it on the lips or anything, but I'm just filling in the whole section of teeth here, not doing any gums or anything like that. You could, but again, I don't want to spend a lot of time on these guys. These are just my regular troops, so I just want to get them to a nice tabletop standard and field it straight onto the board. Here I chose to just do the top teeth, as the bottom teeth weren't very predominant on this model, so just chose to pick out these ones instead. But again, just going to come in here on the other side, and we're going to just fill in all the teeth, being very, very careful of the lips, as I don't want to do a lot of cleanup work afterwards. So with that done, we're going to let that base coat dry. So my next step is I'm going to come in with some Citadel XV88. This is going to be the base color for all my leather work. I like this, as when you hit it with an Agrax Earthshade, it does darken and give you a nice leather look. You could start with a darker brown and work your way up, but again, just want tabletop standard, quick and easy, straight to the board. So I'm not being too careful around the buckle part of the belt, as I will be coming in after with my brass and just cleaning that up for some separation. As well as I'm not worrying about getting the whole belt. I am leaving the tops and the bottoms in that dark gray, as it does give, again, a bold separation between all the colors. So just painting his little tail piece here, his bag of whatever it's supposed to be. I chose to do leather for this instead of a cloth look, just because I want essentially some kind of realism to this model. He wouldn't be bringing cloth into battle with him. You'd bring leather, as it is stronger. So as you can see here, all the leather is done and starting to look nice. So now with it all dry, I did do the arm pieces that hold his plate of armor to his arm. So now I'm coming in with the Agrax Earthshade here, and I'm going to water it down quite a bit, as I don't want too heavy of a wash. So I've got a lot of water on my brush here. I'm just going to mix it into the pot like so, wipe off some excess, and now I'm going to be very, very careful with where I'm putting this wash, as I don't want it to spill over into the red, but I like the effect this wash gives. I usually don't like to use washes to give me the colors I want, but for leather, I find this is the fastest and best outcome I've experimented with so far. So just coming in here with that wash again, and as you can see, with it on there already, it's darkening the browns, giving nice shading. Again, that's why a lot of people like to call washes liquid talent, because it is giving me my shading and a nice overall effect. So we just go around all the leather. I don't do the arm pieces as I don't want it to color the gray on the arms. So now with that drying, I'm going to now do the teeth and the claws on his feet. So I'm now coming in with a heavier load of Agrax Earthshade, as his toes would be dirtier than his belt and everything like that. So that's why I come in with a heavy load here. Again, this is how I do a lot of my bone work. Being very careful and mindful of where my wash is going, as sometimes the washes can get away from you. So just applying it all over the toes here. Just cleaning it up a bit so it's not too random looking. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to do his teeth. This part you need to be very, very careful for. And I'll show you why in a second here. As too much can come off your brush. And as you can see back in that part, I did get too much off the brush in one shot. But it's a very, very simple cleanup in here. Just pushing the wash into the back so that it gets into all the recesses of the mouth. So with there being too much in the back of that mouth, I now need to come in and clean it up. All you do is you just come in with a dried brush or just a clean brush and just essentially start pushing it around. The dry brush will soak up the excess wash and just move it around. So now that all the wash is dried, I'm going to come in with Ushabti bone to do the highlight of my bone. This is going to be an extremely simple highlight. Nothing too complicated about this. Just going to grab the tops of the toes here, or the claws on the feet, as it's just going to simulate that that's the high point. I don't go too far down on the claw, as the claw closer to the ground wouldn't be as bright. It is a very subtle highlight. It's not too stark or contrasty, but it does give a nice separation and a nice transition on the model. Again, you could probably do this highlight first and then do the Agrax to kind of give it all a tie-in. That is another way you could do this, but this is the route I chose to go. It's all personal preference on how you want to do it. Now coming in with the same color, the Ushabti bone, I'm just picking out essentially just his fangs, as those are sticking more outside of the mouth than the other teeth, as with the watered down Agrax Earthshade, you kind of get almost a highlight inside the teeth, as it all just pools to the crevices inside the model's teeth. So as you can see here, I just went for the fangs, as I felt those were the only things that really needed to be highlighted on him. So he's starting to come together, starting to look almost complete. There's only a few little details left to do. So I'm now going to come in and I'm going to do the highlighting on all the leather. And the color I choose to do for the highlights is Talaran Sand. Again, you could have done this highlight first, then the Agrax will also give you a nice effect as well. If you find that this highlight's a little too bright, I don't mind it too much, as it's a very subtle highlight. I'm not doing too much, just using my lamp here to find where the light source would hit. Just minor highlighting, just to give it a little bit of a pop. So just on the bag here, just to show the creasing in the bag. And on the belt here, I just barely put a lot on here. Just a little tap right where his buckle starts on the sides here, just to give a little separation. On the end of the belt, I just do just the tip, just to give it a tiny bit of separation. I don't want a whole lot of separation on this guy. And again here, my lamp kind of showed a little bit of light there, so decided to hit that as well. So as you can see here, he's almost done. I'm now going to do his eyes. So I come in with Ushabti Bone, and I'm just, this highlight is very, or this base is very, very tricky, as the eye is very small. As you see, I get in really, really close here to get his eyeball. Very, very small part to paint, but essentially that's it, and he's done. I did the ringlets on his sword in brass. I did the handle in gray-green, but that's pretty much it. His buckle will be done in a brass, but there we have it. That's the Skorza Skirmisher completed. If you guys like this series and want to see more, please comment, subscribe, follow me on Facebook, as I will be posting works in progress. And again, guys, thanks for watching and have a great day.